you have started up with an initiative where you teach them finances, how to manage it, then life skills, getting into the Uber, these basic things. What all you do in regards to these life skills? How do you teach them, and how do you make them the world ready?
As children grow, the parents are also getting old, and it's
True.
becoming very difficult for them to physically be present for the child everywhere, to take them everywhere. So at Pehchan, we are focusing on very, very simple skills like money management. So there are a lot of readiness programs that we do first, which is soft skills. In order to understand good touch, bad touch, stranger, danger, if you get lost, what you're supposed to do. You need to know your entire information, how you use phone, sharing live locations, all these pre-readiness skills. So we have money skills, we have cooking skills. Cooking skills are very basic.
I do know that you have two lovely, beautiful daughters, Divya and Prerna. So first, just tell us a bit about your journey.
My husband fell sick and he was diagnosed with cancer and he passed away. And during that time, I could see that Divya was showing a lot of sadness, depression. That time, my special ed who was coming home said that why don't we commercialize her whatever skill she's having, so that she's also busy and she can become independent. She can have some money to her account. So at that time, creative.com was born. That was 1 year after my husband passed away. And we did our first exhibition in a yoga class. And it was well received. So we said, okay, then we started getting offers. So that's how creative.com has come around, and it has given a purpose to Divya.
So, welcome both of you to the Dolly Show today. And I'm really glad that we are going to delve into a new topic with both of you. And what have you all done is really inspiring. So, let our audience know. We have our professional who is Kavya, and we have our parent who is Komal. So, welcome both of you. And let's talk about dealing with the real world today. To start with you, Kavya, I know you have done multimedia and you are onto a different track, and now you're into dealing with children on the spectrum. What has and how has your journey turned?
So because both of my cousins were on the autism spectrum, and we were very closely growing up together. I used to go for Prerna speech group sessions. We used to go to attend Divya's lot of school programs, annual days, sports days, where I saw a completely different world. And I was always very emotional when it came to this. Definitely back then, 30 years back, there was no Google. So we never Googled autism. There were no labels. It was just pure love.
So true.
Yes. So as I was growing up, I understood that they just needed a little bit of extra help, and obviously a lot of belief of their loved ones to help them and encourage them and to give them that confidence that they need to perform their daily tasks. While I was doing my graduation in mass media, towards the end of the third year, I realized that I was not truly resonating with that world. I was not very satisfied, and always at the back of my head, I wanted to do something in the sector. But since I was very emotional, I always thought that it'll be very overwhelming for me. So just to be sure, I did a couple of internships in schools for teaching, and I was an observer at various therapy setups where I just saw if I was comfortable being around them. And it turned out to be that as I approached towards doing my formal course in special education, I realized that being emotional and empathetic and understanding towards the students and their families were in fact my strength.
True, which is needed.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So yeah, that's how I began my journey. And I'm truly grateful that I chose this because there's a lot of joy and love and a lot of satisfaction that you receive at the end of the day.
So you found your calling.
Yes.
That's really great to know. And we will definitely talk about the amazing initiatives that you have taken once you have found your way. Over to you, ma'am. I do know that you have two lovely, beautiful daughters, Divya and Prerna. So, first, just tell us a bit about your journey and then we'll talk about your achievements.
So I married early and had a child immediately after marriage. So I was just 22 and Divya was born. She's the elder one. Now she's 31. So right from the beginning, there was something different about her, but I couldn't make out exactly what, because her eye contact, and my husband was a doctor. He passed away 7 years ago. So even though he was a doctor, he could not come to terms with the fact that there is something wrong. But a mother's intuition, although this was my first child, but over the next couple of years, I could make out. And once she went to school, where she was, all over the place. She wouldn't sit in one place. She would remove strings out of her socks and play. Stim, as they call it. So she was asked to leave the school. And then we found another nursery where she was accepted, but not really bothered about. I read a few articles in the magazine. At that time, we were in Abu Dhabi. We were not in India. My husband was working there. So there was no real, you don't have a developmental pediatrician as such over there. So we started reading. Internet had just around, become popular. So we started researching, and then I came to India, got her diagnosed. By that time, she was 3. So we were a bit late. And then we started therapy. And she showed progress. Like by 4, she started talking. She was not talking till she was 4. And then I moved back to India for her therapy. And then her the strings, and also she went to a special school after 4 years of regular school. Where she was not really benefiting. So then we had to put her in a special school. There, her special educator saw that, she has this talent of playing with strings. So she put it to use by making her do beading. And she used to like to color. So then she started doing painting on jute bags. And then we did necklaces and stuff like that. And then, I told the special educator to come home and train her for other handicrafts. And from there, she started showing a lot of skills in those things. Initially, we used to gift off the stuff, whatever she used to make. Meanwhile, my husband fell sick and he was diagnosed with cancer and he passed away. And during that time, I could see that Divya was showing a lot of sadness, depression. That time, my special ed who was coming home said that why don't we commercialize her whatever skill she's having, so that she's also busy and she can become independent. She can have some money to her account. So so at that time, Creative.com was born. That was 1 year after my husband passed away. And we did our first exhibition in a yoga class. And it was well received. So we said, okay, then we started getting offers. So that's how Creative.com has come around, and it has given a purpose to Divya. The younger one is Prerna, who's presently pursuing an internship in data annotation. It's an image annotation, AI, the latest.
The latest.
Yes. She has been through a regular schooling. She was fortunate enough to get schools where they had, you can say, acceptance. Yeah, she would participate in all the activities and all. Academics was also difficult for her because she was in IGCSE. After my husband passed away, I shifted her to a SSC school because I was not able to cope up with her and Divya and so many other things that were going on. So then she finished her 10th grade, where she got the highest in English which because she was an IG, she had a
I
good
know.
hold on English. So she showed interest in academics to a certain extent. So we went for a vocational course in travel and tourism. So 11th and 12th, she was in NM College. After that, COVID started. And traveling on our own was a little bit of an issue at that time. So we opted for IGNOU, that is an online, meaning long distance. So again, there she did travel tourism as her graduation. After that, she did Prakramika Vocational Institute, some courses from there. And presently, she's doing an internship with Orkwait in data and image annotation. So that's been our
Fabulous and truly inspiring. Coming over to you. So today, as we all know, we are talking about how do you deal with the real world. So we do the diagnosis. Once that is done, we have our therapies, we have our schooling, and all of that. But in the end, all of this is comes down and boils down to one thing, which is integrating into the society and then being independent. So I very well know you have started up with an initiative where you teach them finances, how to manage it, then life skills, getting into the Uber. These basic things. We think for us it is very simple. Booking an Uber. Yeah, it's a simple thing, but we need to understand how they understand and how can we incorporate all of that into their daily life. So I would really love to know what all you do in regards to these life skills. How do you teach them and how do you make them the world ready?
So when I started working, I was associated with two schools where we were training adults and students. But there was a major gap that I came across. Like there was a student coming from Chembur who used to travel from BST bus and come to Juhu, and it was very difficult for the parent as well. And having a family member, we always knew because she always had so many challenges. Plus with the age, we realized that as children grow, the parents are also getting old, and it's
True.
becoming very difficult for them to physically be present for the child everywhere, to take them everywhere, to do small things, daily tasks for them. So after I left schools, I wanted to do something of my own because we wanted to cater to this particular area. We were seeing that there are so many schools and therapy centers who are already working for that age group.
So true.
But yeah.
We are taking care of this chunk, but what after this? How will they deal with the society? How will they independently take up all the daily tasks is, I think, the main goal. So you have taken up a really good initiative. Yes, over to you.
So while I was doing home sessions where we realized that how independent they need to be in their own surroundings first.
True.
And employment is definitely a major part of being independent. But
Yes.
to truly thrive, it's very important that an individual should be able to take care of themselves. Because a lot of parents who were coming, they were like, what is going to happen to my child after I'm not there anymore?
So true.
And being a sibling, I always thought that we don't want to send them to a residential setup because they have the right to have a feeling of a home.
So true.
Yes. But at the same time, everybody around you starts saying that you have to continue with your life, and so to have that part and to provide that to more families, we thought, okay, let's make them as independent as possible so that everybody welcomes to live with them and to happily enjoy their being, because they also need to be seen, understood, and celebrated. So at Pehchan, we are focusing on very, very simple skills like money management. So it's understanding the value of needs, wants. So there are a lot of readiness programs that we do first, which is soft skills in order to understand good touch, bad touch, stranger, danger. If you get lost, what you're supposed to do. You need to know your entire information, how you use phone, sharing live locations, all these pre-readiness skills which help them like when you go out. Even if you know now, you know how to manage money and you know what you have to buy, but a stranger is coming by and asking for help, you know how vulnerable they are. So, they'll just give it away. So, all these skills we first, get them to develop. We take them outdoors, we do those outdoors training where they're not supposed to talk to strangers, they're supposed to communicate with shopkeepers. They need to know the surrounding areas of their houses. So, where is the medical shop, where is the grocery shop. So it's like A to B thing. Like, this is a task, you need to go down, you need to get these things that you need to make at home, even if a simple sandwich. So we have money skills, we have cooking skills. Cooking skills are very basic, non-gas recipes, 5 to 6 recipes that they should know that if nobody is there at home, they are able to
Survival
make
mode.
and yes, have it. Then there is travel training, just A to B travel training, not the generalized form is too much for them. But at least if in their daily routine is going to college or going to school or going to vocational setup, since parents are not able to too much do after a certain age, so they should be able to take care of themselves. And what we do is while we are teaching them life skills, we understand what their strengths are. So if they're good with computers, then we train them with data entry, or we're looking forward to more initiatives like AI, which they can be at home and do it. So that 4 or 5 hours of day they are productive. And if they are interested in and good at vocational skills, then our future goal is that we can expand
can
creative
give
and
employment to others.
we can provide employment to them. So depending on their strengths.
Fantastic. I mean, as what I said earlier as well. This is our end goal. This is where we have to belong. And excellent job that you're doing, believe me. And keep going. And if you could just elaborate a bit about the employment part. So how are you planning to do that?
So it's been 5 years in the field, and we realize that a lot of gaps. Even if in the past we've been able to put people out there in the mainstream employment, other people are not able to be like a friend to them or be a good colleague to them. It's not sustainable down the line. So the goal is that we collaborate with startups, organizations who are ready to take in children and adults with intellectual disabilities. So the goal is that what the vision is that they can come to Pehchan, that can be an office, and we can provide them with the work where they'll get a feeling of working with their friends, but they'll have a feeling of going to an office. But they'll be in a safer environment. Their work will be supervised by a buddy system, and that's how we can create an employment setup for them instead of placing them outside directly in the mainstream setup.
It's just out of curiosity is what I want to know. So if don't you think you will be restricting them to an environment, or maybe definitely this will not cater to all. So what is your take on that?
So, because since we've been working with such diverse people, what we understand is some people who are on the borderline are still able to manage a lot of skills and manage to be in a setup, what we call as an inclusion mainstream setup. But there are a lot of people who have skills but don't have the soft skills or the travel skills, which will again be a hinder to their progress. So even if they have skills, they're not able to go outside and sustain for a long period of time. So keeping in mind the sustainability concept and a safety perspective, we wanted to try out this approach as well.
Because there's a lot of bullying going on the people with disabilities in offices, wherein even though they have the skills, but other people, take advantage. I could just the trainer knows how to use the GPay. So once we went for a walk, I went ahead with Divya because Divya was walking very fast. She was hounded by beggars. And they told her, give us money. And she is a very petite person. So she said, I don't have money. She was not carrying any money. Nahi to aap GPay kar do. And she was so very overwhelmed. by their bullying, they actually took her to a shop nearby and they bought so much, like 13,000 worth of stuff. And she actually G-paid.
Oh my god.
And she had quite a bit of money in her account because all the creative.com money comes to her account. So people can be bullies, if you are
And
not.
imagine these are the street people. Like they are
Yes,
also
they were
not
like
so smart.
10 or 12 of them, and they just wouldn't let her, like, nahi didi de do and all that.
Oh.
So you
even if
have
they
the
know the
skills
skills,
like
yeah.
GPay. She knew GPay, but then she didn't know how to get out of the situation. So then, I told her you should have given me a call at least, but she was so overwhelmed by them. So these people are vulnerable. So if you leave them out, unless, each and everything has to be taught. You don't have to give anybody, you don't have to do this. Too many do's and don'ts to be.
So even if you train them in all situations, there might come
will
up a
be some
situation.
loopholes. So safety becomes.
Good, I took up this question. I want you to give us more information about creative.com.
Creative.com has been a real. It was not just for Divya. It was for me also a boon because I was also going through a low phase after my husband passed away. And I've always been a bit creative. So, and Divya also has taken after me, I guess, I think. So we just, it's become a team now. And of course, both my nieces, her elder sister, my niece's husband, and my brother, my sister-in-law, I think the whole family has got involved in it. Not only that, I feel the other parents have also been very, very supportive. It has really motivated and encouraged Divya a lot. And we have had so many exhibitions and orders coming in, corporate orders. So we do coasters, hot dish pads, jewelry, rakhis. We used to do jute bags, which presently we have put on hold right now. Diyas. So it has been very fulfilling, and I think
if
more
it's
and
of
more
her
people,
interest.
more people should think about such initiatives for their kids. And in fact, I have noticed that after we started creative.com, other parents have come up with a similar, some are making cookies, chocolates. Earlier, people used to be part of an NGO. This is, alone we cannot manage. But now I see, since
So you have been an inspiration. You should be proud of the fact.
I would say that,
So nice.
So I've seen so many, now in the near future we have one at Infinity for 3 days.
Wow.
So now if you go to see, there are so many parents and child duos, all over the place. It's not just the NGOs. Earlier it was particular NGO putting up. Now there are all parents and kids and they're doing a fabulous job. So I think everybody should think about something like this.
Definitely, because in the end, what is it like? If your child is interested in something, just develop that and make it into your career and do what you love the most. That's what everybody
So if
is
there
trying
are
to.
orders which we have to fulfill, and it's very short time, Divya is ready to sit through till 12 in the night and do it.
So these abilities, their abilities
Yes.
to focus on a particular thing and finish it and only then get up is what helps them get the orders done in place in time.
And she loves
Fabulous.
going to
Yeah,
exhibitions. She has a very
she
good
likes
and
to
proud feeling.
see her work displayed, and she wouldn't talk to anybody. She has limited vocabulary, but she likes to be there, and she can sit for 8 hours at a stretch just to and if it's in a mall, she loves it all the more.
As we all know, they communicate in different ways. So this is her way of communicating, and she's happy.
Oh yes.
So that's what matters the most, is what I think. Yes. So you have been doing grooming sessions for these individuals. So how do you go about that, and how does it help the individuals on the spectrum?
So again, when talking about adults, uh, when they're all growing up and seeing their siblings or mothers dressing up, going out, they also want to be a part of that. But because of the fine motor skills, they're a bit dependent on their parents for the same. So, and also it is a very important skill to be presentable first if we are training them with employment readiness skills. So, to dress up a particular way, look into the mirror before leaving the house, whether your dresses are proper. We also teach them to do ironing of their clothes. Plus little bit of how to groom yourself in terms of making your hair different types of hairstyles.
Styles.
Yeah, and they're very interested. You would think that doesn't matter
Yeah.
to them, but it's not the case. They, in fact, once what happened, I was just taking a group session of girls, and I just tied my hair up, and immediately the next one, she opened her hair and she was like, "I want to tie it like this." So they want to do so many things, but because of this skill, so we try to alternatively just see what their skills are and to train them so that at least they can get these little joys. And basic makeup skills of applying a lipstick, applying a cream, taking care of themselves when they go to take bath, how they should maintain hygiene, because that's a very important skill of their daily routine. So, since we started with group sessions of girls, we started with some dance, a lot of people were interested in, and we started games. And once they got along, they started saying, I want to learn how to do makeup, and I want to go for shopping with my friends, and I want to go to watch a movie with my friends. So that's when we understood that they want friendships, which they're not able to find outside. So we do a lot of outdoor sessions now, since they have learned money concepts and they are in the process of learning traveling. We teach them to go buy your ticket. So how you're supposed to communicate, how much money you're supposed to give, how much change you'll get back. This also actually is boosting a lot of confidence because they're seeing their friends doing it, so they want to all the way do more of that. So this is how we're training them together now, and they're using their skills outdoors.
Yeah, so recently I think Prerna is also part of the group. They went for Sitare Zameen Par and then they went for lunch outside in the mall itself. I mean, so it was a very good experience. It's like a memory which she'll cherish.
Sitare Zameen Par, to be very frank, has opened a lot of opportunities, and somehow through media, through movies, you can really reach the audience quickly. So this subject that has been taken up by Amir Khan, it's really, really amazing. Through this, the voices will reach really quick, be it India or overseas. This is the fastest mode of communication up till now, yes. Social media, all this apart, but this is huge for sure. And so many people are now aware. Oh, yes. Yeah, Tare Zameen Par was a start, but it didn't really, emphasize so very much on the topic. It was just a part of it that was touched, but here it is a total awareness, sort of a huge campaign that it took up, and it's really worked well, to be very frank. Yes, it has opened lot of doors, which is commendable. See, so many, I saw so many groups going in for the screening, and these kids taking their friends along. I heard a lot of all those stories.
They've also started up with something like a sensitized theater
Theater.
for autism people because they're too sensitive to loud noises.
Yes.
So for this, after this movie has come up, they're like, okay, this is something that we should be doing so that they get an experience to watch a movie.
Awareness has increased so much now.
Unless you know, how will you solve the problem?
Exactly.
If you know the problem, you can solve it.
So true. So let's come to this very interesting topic of travel. See, travel, be it a neurotypical or a neurodiverse, you have to get the children ready. And later in life, definitely, how much will you protect? In the end, you have to someday or the other. So, how did you achieve this goal, ma'am? Like, from hesitating, okay, should I not? See, all parents go through this. but how did you deal with two kids on the spectrum, and now we very well know they travel independently. So how did you achieve that?
Divya is still not independently traveling, but Prerna definitely can. And she does whenever needed. Because presently she's working from home, so she doesn't need to as such. But she can once she wants to. Also, independently traveling from one city to other with other people apart from the parents is what Divya had started long ago. Meaning, when she was 11, with her school, she had traveled to Goa for 6 days, Lonavala. So all that she would do, but by herself she cannot travel. Whereas
How did you overcome that fear?
exactly, my in-laws were very much against it, but I had that idea that one day I will die, and she has to be on her own. So it's better if she, gets used to other people. And her school people had convinced us that she, they will take care.
She'll manage.
And she got her periods there, she had fever there, she managed everything pretty well. She got the most independent student of the year award and all that. So I was like, okay, she can. And after that, she's been going to, she's been going to Lonavala for 5 days, 6 days. That has been on. Like, she can. Prerna has been traveling within the city because that is thanks to Kavya, because she started it all by sharing the live location first, teaching her that. She was in NM college, we were in Khar, so it's like Ville Parle, Parla, Khar to Ville Parle, she had to travel. Initially, we did all this Uber auto. I used to follow her in my car when she was in ahead, and I would, just to make sure, because I was not convinced that she can do
So
it.
true.
So I used to follow her, and then when she's coming back, I wouldn't go to pick her up. Then I would tell her, you tell me exactly where you are, send your live location, keep calling me up when you're in the auto, and tell me where you are, what do you see, all those things. So it was scary, and I would go down to see whether she's giving the right amount of money. All that I had to do just to make sure that she was confident, but I was not, frankly. So, she would wait for that guy to give the chutta back. She wouldn't move. I would say 2 rupees, let it be. Nobody's not giving me back. So, once they learn a skill, they
stick to it.
They stick to it, yes. So that was all thanks to Kavya, because she trained her initially and I just followed her instructions. And then later, then she became confident. Then she would come to Malad with Divya. She would get Divya in the Uber auto.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there have been situations where she's not gotten off at the right location. But then,
Managed.
so those situations we understood
So
how
she
we need
called
to play.
that this guy has dropped me here. She said, okay, so take another auto and just tell him the address, and you know how to. I mean, it was not very far. So she got back. She had luggage, she had Divya along with her. So she crossed the road, took another auto and back. So then I got confident that she could manage. I still haven't tried local trains. Metro is in process. Yeah.
So this was at what age?
She was 16 when we started, By 17, she was confident, I think, College, 11th and 12th grade, around that time.
So I would love to know from the trainer, how have you trained them?
So what we do is we initially, as I told you, we do the pre-readiness skills of traveling, of all situations. You need to know everything about yourself. You need to start seeing on the shops of the addresses where you are. So that even if you get lost, you're able to communicate where you are initially. And we started with first knowing all the landmarks around your area, because that's what you know the best. So first is from B to A. So if you're at a station, you're coming back home, you need to give directions. So once because you have to stop here and these are the landmarks. So once you're confident with that, then you can go to an unknown place. So A to B also happens like going to college or going to pick up Divya at the same location every day with consistency. So we used to tell her, abhi left bolna hai, abhi seedha
So
jana
like a
hai."
regular auto first, then
Yes.
I think we did Uber.
Yes. And then we used to sit quiet. Now you give the direction. So we could know, okay, she knows and she's doing. Then she used to start following her. And she didn't know that she's following. So that, she gains confidence that I could do it. Once that I could do it comes within any, child, student, adult, then they are like ready. They're like, okay, I can do it. A lot of times where, so we used to go out and she had to meet me in an unknown place. She used to book Uber and make her sit and I was at one end. So I used to know, okay, she's reached, and we
I
would
could
tell
track
her.
her. Like Uber, we can track. So it was less scary. But scary nevertheless, unless she reaches there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Mumbai is very
Safe.
much safe for that matter. I don't know about other places, but here I can say that, yeah, the auto guy, it can be relied on most of the times.
But still, the mother fear, the first step is all really
My
that you have to
father-in-law
overcome.
would chew my brains like, how can you leave her alone? How can you leave her alone? So, no, let her go.
True. Because till date, my daughter is 12 and I am still not overcome my fear. It's why the question came in. What was the age when you started?
I started a bit late, but yes.
Yeah,
Because she
that
didn't
was-
need to travel before that. She had a bus coming. School was okay. Like school, there was a bus. But yeah, once she went to college, that was far. And I had to go drop, pick. It was like too much.
There was a time in between when Divya was going to Cafe Arpan and Prerna was the one who was going
Yeah.
to drop her and pick her at
Wow.
every day.
We need to speak about that for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So that's how actually we always thought that Prerna can be independent in most of the areas. So she can take care of Divya at any given point, which she does now. Like if she's not at home, she'll first go and check if Divya has eaten lunch or she needs to give her. She'll call and check. I'm taking lunch, but has Divya eaten? So, and they are like inseparable. Can't do without each other. So that really helps her out also.
Divya follows Prerna's instructions without fail. So if she has to cross the road and I am with her, she will hold Prerna's hand, not my hand.
That kind of a bond they have.
Yes.
Wow.
And yeah. Prerna keeps checking whether Divya is coming or no. Even if I am on the phone and I am just going ahead, she would wait. Divya's not come yet. Wait,
Yeah.
she'll wait for her.
Fabulous. So, yes, as we know, Prerna has worked for Arpan Cafe.
Divya
has worked.
Not really worked. I would say she was having her skill developments there. They have STC, which is pre kind of training before they get into Cafe Arpan. So she was in STC, and then we shifted to Malad. So she didn't really get to work in Cafe Arpan. Also, she used to find it a little difficult to focus over there because there were a few more people than she likes. She likes to work alone and she likes the AC. And over there, when you're working in a kitchen, you feel hot. So she would do a chopping and everything pretty well. But actual cooking was not her cup of tea. So, and also we shifted to Malad from Khar. So I had to discontinue with Cafe Arpan. But while she was there, Prerna was the one who used to drop her and pick her up.
Okay.
Because there was no bus service over there. So few of the people who worked in Cafe Arpan are also in Sitare Zameen.
Yes,
If you
yes, yes,
noticed,
yes, yes.
It's a great initiative.
Yeah, very
That is
great
something
initiative.
that we need now.
That was long ago that this was started.
So in fact, they have a stall, or you can say kind of a it's a stall at Accenture. So with Divya's jewelry and products were kept over there for display and sale over there also. So Sushma ma'am, who is she has been very, very encouraging.
She was amazing.
She said whatever she's doing, we want to help
encourage
her.
her.
Yeah, we want her to come up. if she's not happy here also, it's okay. We will want her to do whatever she's doing in the larger scale.
True. No, really beautiful souls who have come in together and
Really very
Doing-
thankful to her.
yes.
She's been very, very motivating.
very
and encouraging.
motivating. And taking steps, like thinking about it so long ago was really amazing. And it's still going well, doing well, which is amazing. So, ma'am, as you said, Prerna is into AI. First, I want to know, how did you get to know? We all are still trying to understand AI. So, how did you know that she's interested, and how have you developed her interest into something that she can work into?
So, frankly, even I was not aware about AI. I read a message in our group. There was this company called Orquate was offering a course in AI data annotation, where they wanted only neurodiverse people to be part of it. So they had a kind of checklist wherein they had written that neurodiverse people are very, they have very precise, they have an eye for detail, they have the patience, they are consistent. So all these things are what we are looking at, because all these things are what is required in AI data image annotation. So it was just like, I got a message from another parent saying, why don't you try for Prerna? She's just finished her graduation. I was not going to go for it. I just read the message, and immediately one parent told me, why don't you try it? So I just registered. They said, we'll have an online interview and we'll take a test to see whether she's eligible. So she was asked a few questions about herself, and they gave her a test wherein they made her do some annotations, and she could do it. So we said, there's no harm. Even if she doesn't like it, we will drop off. And then we started the course, and the instructors were just too good. I can also get a certificate for AI because we used to sit together. Like whatever Prerna knows, I know, because it was mandatory for the parent to sit. Because there were some instructions which was not very easy for the child to, the adult to follow. So the parent has to interpret it. So it was very interesting. There were different things which they were taught. And there was one more thing, that they would be getting an internship after that, which is what I was looking for. Employment was my main goal, because I didn't want her to just waste her time. Divya was busy with handicrafts. Prerna is not so interested at the moment in handicrafts. So I was looking for something which would interest her. So we started off with the course, and it was pretty interesting. Then after 6 months, she again was assessed whether she can get an internship. Again, she passed. So she got an internship. So every 3 months also they have an assessment. So even in the internship. So which she has been passing, and it's a paid internship. So that gives her a boost. It's not much, but
Whatever it is, yeah.
But she likes to see it in her account, okay, first go, aaya kuch. So
Wow.
she's happy. So yeah, it gets challenging sometimes, because there are new projects coming up which are more difficult than the older ones. But yeah, with a lot of practice, she is able to manage so far.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
So it's been a very good experience. I am happy. The supervisors are very encouraging, motivating. They keep helping out. It's good.
Super. I appreciate that these kind of organizations are taking the initiative, and I love that statement that we only want neurodiverse.
Yes, they have this particular batch only neurodiverse.
So nice.
A lot of people from overseas are also a part of this. They're from Chandigarh, Hyderabad, who are doing this because it's online.
It's online.
So they're trying to reach out to as many people as they can.
Which is a fabulous initiative. Excellent. Because yes, there are so many children who are good into this. And
that too, to teach online, it's not easy. During
During COVID?
Yes.
We all were struggling.
Yeah. So they are 24/7 initially when they were having the course. Any time of the day, they said, if you want to practice and if you have any problem, we're always there. And actually, they would take extra class. They would do anything to keep you, happy that you can do this. Don't, feel frustrated. That was very good. I really appreciate their efforts.
So online, so could Prerna just cope up with that, or how was it?
Yeah, so that's why, that's what I'm saying, that I was not very sure whether she would be able to do it, like, following instructions online, but she was doing it pretty well. She has been able to do it so far.
Fabulous. Excellent. A question for you. So, suppose I am one of your client. How does my typical schedule look like if I come to you for a training?
So usually when a student comes in, we have a detailed meeting with the parent to first understand what the current level of the student is, what are their daily routine, if they're already going somewhere to a workshop or a school or doing some course. On the basis of that, I take sessions with them once a week, twice a week, thrice a week, depending on their schedule. But what we do is because a child cannot learn in that 1.5 hour session, right? And all these skills are something that has to be inculcated in their daily routine. For example, money skills, what we do is whatever we are teaching them, but now we have to teach them the value, which is very abstract. So we tell them, okay, you are going to do them, whatever they eat at home, they're going to give 1 rupee, or if they do any task at home, they're going to get 1 rupee. So for the entire week, they have 5 rupees now. You need to go and buy. So you need to understand that a 10 rupee wala thing they will not get in 5 rupees. Only a 5 rupee thing. And so it keeps on increasing, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee. That's how they understand the value, plus they're using it in their daily routine. Same with time, same with traveling. So whenever they are stepping out of the house, even if they are with their parents, they have to share the live location. Or they need to inform, okay, I've reached. And they need to understand the duration. So even if they are doing one particular task at home, we give a home program, because if they're coming for once a week, the parent has to consistently do it. Repetition is the key. So whenever they are sitting with them to do a particular activity, they tell, okay, because they don't understand how long is 5 minutes or how long is 1 hour. So consistently doing that in their daily routine helps them to become more confident about a particular skill. So it's just training is just for that particular time. That's the techniques that we use, because every individual is different. But ultimately the parents are the ones who are, applying it in their daily routine.
Got you. So do you have sessions for the parents as well, or it is just for?
It's actually the parent sometimes is sitting during the session to understand. If the child has to be more free, then sometimes the parent waits outside. But we are consistently in touch with them that this has happened today, so you need to take this forward, so that we can keep a tab on the progress.
Got you.
And online also we are doing. So then we train the parent and we send them materials of how you can go about it.
Now I get a clear picture. So just like a normal sibling relation. So kabhi, two sisters are like, no, I don't want to talk to her. Or, we have a fight, or you need space. So how has it been between Divya and Prerna?
Divya is the one who has this habit of touching and irritating Prerna. Prerna is the one who is very caring. So, but at the same time, Divya cannot live without Prerna. They are inseparable. At the same time, Prerna needs her space. So, in the house, we have 2 bedrooms. One is for Prerna and one is for Divya. And I am in the living room. They both have their space. So, they when they are going for a walk, both of them go together. But Prerna likes to talk to other people, whereas Divya would just be walking. They don't really fight, I would say. But yeah, Divya, when she's in a bad mood, sometimes she is in a bad mood, then she does all kinds of things to Prerna which she doesn't like.
Typical siblings.
Yeah, but Prerna never hurts her back. Although I tell her, like, you have to set your boundaries. You also pinch her back if she's doing it. So keep her at bay. But she's too docile to do that. Yeah, I would say they are both growing together. They have grown together, and they love each other, but they are very different. Absolutely different. So if you have seen one autistic person, doesn't mean you have seen all.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
I see that every day, that they are both
Totally different.
totally different, having the same kind of atmosphere, but their way of looking at the world is very, very different. Prerna is more social, and Divya is more aloof.
The individual characteristics.
Yes, absolutely. So this was sibling rivalry as such, I would say. Yeah, they don't really feel jealous of each other. I think in autism that kind of emotion is not as much, I guess. I haven't experienced it as yet in these two.
Great to know that. Okay, so let's come up to another segment where we discuss what are the challenges that you all have faced over your entire journey. First, we would like to know from you.
One major challenge that I face both, personally and professionally is that even when we're working with an individual and the parent is quite invested and following the same thing that is to be achieved as a goal, a lot of times the family is not on the same page. Mostly if people are coming from joint family setups and there are boys who are my students, they're like, नहीं इसको cooking सिखाने का क्या ज़रूरत है? Though it is still, normally also not seen as a life skill. Plus other things as well, like if something needs to be followed, repeatedly and consistently within the family, sometimes this major challenge comes up that, okay, your therapist must have told you, but they're not ready to really accept and do it their own way. Even in our family, I think it took a lot of time for everybody to understand when it comes to communication challenges. So if Divya is upset, so she might not see why she is upset, but she might, because it's so much of suppression and not able to communicate is when we see behavior and then we just label it. So to understand that, and for all to understand that sometimes becomes a challenge because everybody's patience levels are, not at the top. So I think there somewhere everybody needs to be more patient with them.
Got you. What about you, ma'am?
So, plenty of challenges. Right from the beginning, the therapist says, for example, that if you give an instruction, you have to follow it through. So, if I ask a child to go and get a glass of water, she's supposed to go and get a glass of water. And we are not supposed to stop till she does it. But when you are at home and in a joint family, chodo na, it's okay if she's. But my thing was that if I have given an instruction, I have to follow it through. Otherwise, she will not take me seriously. So I kept doing that, although my husband or my in-laws would be after my life. But that really helped because now if I just say once, it gets done. So it's the compliance has to be worked on throughout. Both the girls, for that matter. The routine has to be followed. You have to do things in a particular way. So they get the idea only when we are clear as to what. So this was one challenge which I had to overcome, explaining to my family that, I am not doing it because I want to get work out of her. I want it because she needs to follow the instructions. So this will be over everything. Of course, Divya was using a lot of abusive language as she used to watch a lot of movies, Ajay Devgan movies. And she would use that when she was angry, she would use those words. So that we had to, do therapy, but that did not help. Then I had to go for medication. And she was not sleeping at night as well. So for that, we had to go for medication. I had to meet a psychiatrist. And that was one challenge. But after the medication, she became very focused. So there was a positive. There was another side effect was that she started putting on a bit of weight. Not a bit, quite a bit. So that was one side effect. But then I had no choice because that was our sleep was affecting everybody's routine. That was another major challenge. Otherwise, I feel they have actually, I mean, whatever I may have done, they have done more than that to, you know, uh, cooperate with what we wanted them to do. And I feel, I think they have overcome their own challenges as and when they have come across it with a little bit of push. So yeah, Divya has also accepted many things, and she was very like, you know, this has to be at a particular time. But now recently I've seen that she's become very flexible after the medication.
Nice.
Yeah. So yes. So you make up a habit and then you break a habit so that they don't get into the rut. That is what I have learned. That, you know, you keep changing the schedule. Like Monday, if you have to go to the mall, but I tell her no. Today I'm feeling my legs are paining, so today we will not go to the mall. We'll just walk in the building compound, and she's fine with it. It was not like this earlier. She was like, we have to go. We have to. I have to, and it was a tantrum sort of. But now she's more flexible. So it has medication has helped in a way, but only her body weight has become more than ideal weight. She has that craving for food. She doesn't know when to stop sometimes. But that also has been under control because I've locked things up, and you know, there is a tijori in my fridge wherein I keep all my chocolates.
Yeah.
She's seen it. So there is a box with a lock. So I have to be creative in keeping things away, which don't suit her.
So the medications are still on?
Yes, it's like when my husband was in the hospital, I had to start off because it was getting very difficult to manage everything. And of course, our therapist had suggested that in spite of everything, I mean, we did all kinds of therapy, proprioceptive, vestibular stimulation, everything. Nothing was helping, and that was affecting her skills development. So then we had to take a call and take a very mild dose of the medication, but she's still on it. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah. As far as Prerna is concerned, yeah, academics was a challenge. It was difficult. She had to have individual sessions. She had to have a shadow teacher in school. So that helped her to become more independent. But she worked a lot on herself. I think she's one kind who thinks a lot. She has too many questions. She's very inquisitive.
Which is good.
And whatever challenges I was facing, I would use pretend play to teach her. We still do it, in fact. So if she doesn't understand something, or if she wants to know exactly how it will be, like in a social situation, how she can handle it. So we, in fact,
A lot of role plays.
role plays, pretend play, she calls it. So we do that instead of a social story, wherein you are telling a story and it's just me doing the talking. We thought that pretend play or the role play was more effective on her. And I used to invite all her cousins whenever they used to come over, like, let's do something which, you know, some concept which she was not getting. And then it would just dawn on her, okay, this is the way it. Like, she wants to socially engage with people, but she doesn't know how to so many times. So if I say this, what, and if that person says that, then what do I say? What do I do? So here the role play would help.
It has helped a lot.
And it's like simple, like if I'm hosting a party, like what all I need, so like how I will buy things. Simple things is what we would do, and even now we do it for that matter.
Beautiful. All challenges, all your journey, and there Divya and Prerna are who have bloomed so well. And all thanks to your efforts and your efforts as well, which you are still putting in, which is really, really great. So I would love to know what is your goal or mission, and then yours as well.
Yes. So we want to create a space for people to live independently, so that they feel seen, understood, supported. They have a group of friends that they can, talk to. Just generally, it's very basic needs that we are trying to provide them with. Plus, as I mentioned about the employment setup, we wish to have that for some set of people who want to work but are not eligible enough to work outside. We want to give them that feeling of being productive. And thirdly, we are looking forward to expand creative.com. So that at least some sector of people who are interested in vocational skills, who have those strengths, they can come and they can work together, and we can, make it big for them as well. So that they have a sense of belonging to the society, which is major. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So my goal for Prerna is she should have a few friends, real friends. She has many acquaintances because she's very, vocal about, she meets people and she wants to talk to them. But after a point, there is some where she gets stuck. I mean, there is no long-lasting friendships. So that is one thing which I wish I could do something about. Maybe somebody who really understands her. And yeah, of course, her work-wise, she can become more independent. Whatever, we're still exploring AI if she wants to continue. At one point, she said she wanted to become a teacher. So, I mean, that is still on her mind because she likes to be with small children.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that is one thing which we would like to see if she can do something. As far as Divya is concerned, independence, totally, like, I mean, I should be able to leave them at home without any assistance, and they should be able to manage. That's the main goal as of now, because as whenever I move out, I always have that at the back of my mind. Hope everything is okay. I mean, they don't get into trouble. So right now, I still have somebody coming over while I'm away. But that's one of the goals, that they should be by themselves, be able to live by themselves.
For sure, you all have come a very long way. And yes, all this will also definitely, you will have a win-win situation. So yes, parents and professionals like you all give inspiration to other parents and professionals that don't give up, is what you all are doing as well. And I love the charm on your face. You have taken up everything positively and have done everything that has come your way in a very beautiful and calm way. I can see that charm and the calm on your face, which is so
One day
important.
at a time, that's
Yeah.
my motto. So
Yeah.
that helps.
And thanks to you as well. I mean, it's very rare that, a family member is thinking so much for the children of the family, and you have taken it up as a career, which is really commendable. So thanks to both of you, and a big thanks that you all are sharing your valuable information with us, with our audience. So thank you very much.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
for
us.
having us.